This weekend marks the 72nd anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Craig Shirley, best-selling author and writer of December 1941, 31 Days That Changed America and Saved the World, joins us now to discuss that fateful day and its impact on our country ever since. Craig, good to see you today.
Good to see you, Shannon. Thank you.
And as you noted during the commercial break, today is actually a very important anniversary as well.
Yes, this is December 8th, 72 years and about 2 hours ago. Franklin Roosevelt was right there in that building asking the Congress for a declaration of war, which they passed within minutes after that speech, that historic speech to Congress. And then the congressional leaders carried it later that afternoon down to the White House, and he signed it, and we were into the Second World War, although it wasn't called the Second World War until many weeks thereafter. It was still called the emergency or just the war.
And how did America respond in those first days and weeks? Your book is so interesting in so much detail about what life was like then versus now.
Well, there was mass confusion, but there was order and direction came out of it. There was what was called the war effort, where people were victory gardens and scrap drives and medal drives, and all the recruiting stations for the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps went on 24/7 status because people were just pouring out, doing whatever they could to enlist in the military. And it wasn't just young men. It was veterans of the Spanish-American War were trying to enlist, veterans of World War I. There was a group of women who actually stormed the Selective Service Office here in Washington, demanding to be put into being drafted and put in combat duty.
And, you know, it's often said that when the worst things happen, we see the best of America.
Yes. Yeah, and that was true at that time, too. There were the bad things, but by and large, there were far more good things about the country, the sacrifice that went on and what people went without. And that's really what the book is about the civilian side of those 31 days, not the side, the story of the military, although that's in there, or the story of Franklin Roosevelt, although that's in there, too. But looking at from the average American and the sacrifices they went through as far as the food and transportation and travel, everything, all that had to go for parachutes and other war material, and but it changes everything because, for instance, from the time of George Washington up until 1940, there were many powerful men in the world. There were kings and there were czars and there were dictators, but after 1941 and thereafter, we've always called the President of the United States the most powerful man in the world. And every man who has become President of the United States assumes the title of most powerful man in the world. But we were not. That was not considered a title for a president until World War II. It changes everything.
And it shows us the best of Americans when under pressure. So,
very much.
Craig, very interesting book. Thank you for dropping in.